A lot of us today feel distracted. We feel overwhelmed. There's always too much to do. I don't know about you, but that to-do list seems to grow. Hi, it's Mark Johnson here. I was having a conversation earlier today with a client. She was talking about she's always got too much to do. Doesn't seem to be enough time between running her business, her job, raising kids, and everything else. The conversation went to social media. Where should I be? I've got all this other stuff to do. I don't have time to do all the social media. I don't have time to do all these other things. And that led me to thinking about distraction and how we all think, well, I'm distracted. We often think that the opposite of distraction is focus. If I could just focus more, it would be better. I could get more done if I could just focus. But I think the opposite of distraction is actually traction. Distraction is something pulling you away from something you want. So I want to grow my business. I want to do more business. I want more sales, more customers, more clients, whatever it is. Distraction is something pulling you away from that. So the opposite of distraction is traction. You're being pulled towards what you want. More clients, more business, more sales, whatever that is. And if you look at the two words, distraction and traction, the last 6 letters are the same word, action. If you want more, you want to stop feeling overwhelmed, if you want to stop feeling overworked, you have to take action. And I don't mean work longer hours. I don't mean give up the time with your family. I don't mean, okay, well, we don't do anything on the weekend but work. I mean, you have to start to build a plan. I look at that plan as not just a to-do list. Given talks different places about burning your to-do list because I don't believe in a to-do list. A to-do list, think about it, you check something off of it and then you add something to it. And it becomes this never-ending thing that just seems to grow and grow. Kind of like that crazy mutant plant on Little Shop of Horrors. You know, Audrey, just feed me. And as you feed it, it grows. I think of to-do lists very similarly. Developing a system and the system's working. I've been testing it. My clients have been testing it. If you want to know more about it, just type mastery in the comments below and I'll get in touch with you to tell you a little bit more. But part of the time mastery is you start to set up blocks of time that aren't negotiable. You know, in your business, you probably have some policies, some rules that aren't negotiable. These things happen. For instance, you don't. Doesn't matter what business it is, you don't take counterfeit money. That's a policy. It may be unwritten, but it's just how it is. You have policies in your life. Certain things don't interrupt other things that are more important. A priority in your life might be your children. Your children are number one priority. Everything else doesn't really matter. Your kids are the number one priority. You should have some priorities in your business. In time mastery, what I'm talking about is you have to set some limits. There's only certain things you do at certain times. And for example, in my business right now, I have what I refer to as buffer blocks. I have 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. Those are the only times that I am answering emails, that I'm sending replies or bulk emails out. They're only at those times. I do 1 first thing in the morning before I start my day. So I know if something's coming up, right? Clients changed an appointment. I had that happen today. Client next week, they had to change an appointment. That's great. I know about it now. I've dealt with it. And I do 1 at the end of the day. Coming up here pretty quick. At the end of the day, I'm going to have another buffer block where I check my voicemails, I check my emails, I check my text messages, I check my social media messaging, and I take care of all of that in 1 block of time. That way it's not interrupting the rest of my day. This is just one little part of it. But if you want to get more time, you have to start using your time more effectively. Stop feeling overwhelmed. Stop feeling distracted. Like I said, distraction, it's something pulling you away from what you want, pulling you away from your business, pulling you away from how you want to run your business. Traction, I see, is the opposite. It's not focus. Focus isn't the opposite of distraction. Focus is something you do, but it's not the opposite of distraction. Traction, I see, is the opposite of distraction. So if you want more traction, you have to take some action. One of these actions I see as setting up specific blocks of time in your calendar, and they're not negotiable. So buffer blocks, as I mentioned, I do 1 first thing in the morning before I start my business day. I do 1 right at the end of my day. Those are when I answer my social media They're when I answer texts on my phone, when I answer emails, when I answer voicemails. My phone typically is set to vibrate. And if I'm focusing on something, so I'm creating something, my phone may not even be in my office. It might be in another part of the building. Why? Because then it can't distract me. It's not drawing me. I've got all the notifications turned off on my phone, except two. I have two notifications that show up on my phone. One is my Spanish lessons. Reminds me every day to do my Spanish lessons because I've been using an app. I'm closing in on 800 and almost 900 days now that I've been doing a Spanish lesson every day. So that notification stays because it's not a distraction to me. The other one that stays is my Habit Bowl, which reminds me, I get a message from Habit Bowl every night at 9:30 that it is time to shut everything down. Web router gets turned off, computer, phone, everything gets turned off because it's time to wind down, do my end of the day routine, and get to bed. But if you want to learn a little more about time, how to master time, comment below, say mastery, and I'll get in touch with you and tell you a little bit more about what I'm doing and how I'm learning to master my time and others' time. My clients are using this. This is working exceptionally well to get you more hours back in your day by allowing you to focus on specific things rather than trying to multitask. Like I said, the buffer blocks are working very well because then I'm not distracted by various emails, various voicemails, all this during my day. So comments below, say mastery. I'll get in touch with you, tell you a little bit more about how this is working, how this time mastery really does work, and how it's going to get you literally hours a week back. Recent study I read, this was from a business research firm, they concluded that the average person, the average professional, has 40 hours of unfinished work at any given point in time. Now, a lot of those hours of unfinished work live over there on that to-do list. Oh, I'll do that later. I know, I've seen it, I've found it in my business, in my life, that if you postpone the strategic, the important stuff, you postpone it to take care of the urgent stuff, oh, that urgent email, that urgent, oh, I just got to do this, the strategic never gets done. And you find yourself in the same place in your business next month and 6 months from now because the strategic is never getting done. You're always worried about the urgent. I have a friend that works in health and safety. He is so overwhelmed at work that he doesn't have time to work on anything strategic. He spends all his time chasing down the fires, these bushfires that pop up everywhere in his company. He's got to run and chase these things. He doesn't have any time to work on strategic. Most of us as entrepreneurs, as small business owners, we have the same thing. All these urgent things that have to get done, which take us away from doing strategic things. So the tip I'm sharing right now, and if you want more, just comment below here, say mastery. The tip I'm sharing today is set some time blocks and make these, you don't do it outside of these. I call them buffer blocks, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Maybe your morning block falls between 11 and 12. Mine falls between 7:30 and 8:30 in the morning. My afternoon one typically falls at between 4 and 5. That's where I take care of my emails, my voicemails, my texts, my social media messaging, and then it's done. I'm not worried about it the rest of the day. Those are my times to do it. The rest of the day, I work on strategic things, client calls, coaching calls, developing courses, whatever it is I'm working on, those other things don't matter. So you want to learn more about time mastery? Comment mastery below. I'll see you in the next video.